Welcome back. This is our writing expressions lesson. I'm going to let Mrs. King write this time, so if she does a really bad job, it's all her fault. Get your Learning Standard 6EE2, write, read, and evaluate expressions. And then our can statement, I can go from word form to numerical form for an expression.
Lots to write today. We apologize. All right, we are going to go through some key words for each operation: add, subtract, multiply, and divide. So if you can divide the four squares.
Mr. Henriksen decided to pop in, sorry.
The four squares in the little table.
Give yourself some room to write the words into each of the sections.
You're totally off right now. All right, once you have that done, you're ready to put some keywords underneath the operation. Under addition, you're talking about things like more than. You guys all know plus from elementary school. Increase by, and then total of, and the key word where we're going to focus on. What am I writing? No wonder you gave me the pen. Sum. Just circle that one. That's the one you really need to pay attention to for addition.
So make sure you have all of those written down under addition. Those are all keywords we're going to look for. Next we'll go to subtraction as soon as she gets there. You got to point of the pen down.
Okay.
You got to actually click at the... Okay, maybe we'll let her try again later.
Yeah.
Subtracting, we have four terms. The obvious one, subtracted from, decreased by, so think of it as getting a little smaller. A big one to focus on is the word difference with my Christmas colors. And then less than. Put a little star next to less than, and I want you to draw a little double-headed arrow over the top of it. This one is the only one that's going to have a special little feature to it, so that's one that we want to kind of keep an eye on as we're going forward. And you're going to see all of these in action here in just a couple minutes.
All right, multiplication. Our key words would be times, something you are very familiar with, or multiplied by, from the word multiply. We're going to circle product because it's the one you're going to see a lot in directions and an expression writing in 6th grade. And then your double, tripled, quadrupled. I mean, we tend to know what those means, but those also mean to multiply as well.
All right, last one in divide. There's not a lot for divide. The big one to remember for divide, the one you might be the least familiar with, is the word quotient. Quotient means to divide the numbers and to find your answer. Then you have your usual divided by and things like half or
Split,
part of something.
Or share, those are all divide words
Anything
as well.
that tells you that you're going to break the number into pieces. It tells us that we're going to divide. So make sure you have all four sets of words all neatly organized for you, because you're going to put these to use quite a bit in the next day or two.
All right, we can't forget what our goal is here. An expression is a mathematical statement without an equal sign. So you need to make sure that you get that definition down. It's a mathematical statement without an equal sign. You'll have a variable, an operation, and a number in all of our phrases today. You may have more than that, but in order to have an expression, you have a variable, an operation, and then a constant, which is a number.
All right. Please copy down all 6 of these problems in word form, and then we're going to go back and rewrite each one of them in numerical form. So using variables and numbers and operations to show what's happening. So it's really just translating. We said the sum of b and 11. Well, we know that the word sum means to add, so it just means we're going to do b plus 11. Leave the numbers in the order that they are in the problem, with one exception that we'll talk about in a little bit. But otherwise they stay just like that, and we just do b plus 11.
I feel like I need to write now.
You can write.
Product.
You can't screw this part up.
You know, we just discussed product, meaning multiplication. So it's the product of 6 and a number. You may use any letter that you want to stand for a number.
That doesn't mean make up your own number. It means put in a variable for the number.
So when we show multiplication sign, we need to remember that we are transferring from our numerical stage to our algebra side. So this 6 times m in algebra is written as 6m. Since x is starting to become a variable in this unit, we want to stop using the x as our time sign. 6m with no spaces in between is how we show the product of 6 and the variable which stands for a number. Does that make any sense?
Yep, and we'll practice that one a little bit. Next one is the word quotient, and it's probably the one you're least familiar with, but hopefully you're starting to learn it. But quotient just means that we're going to divide. So again, leave the numbers in the order they showed up in the problem, z and 5, and it just becomes z divided by 5. So you're really deciding, using the words to figure out what operation, and that is what goes in the middle of your problem.
The next one's pretty straightforward. The difference of 8 and w, difference meaning subtraction, they give us 8 and w. So making sure that the difference of 8 and w is translated to 8 subtract w, or 8 minus w.
So the order of those pieces really does make a big difference in the problem. All right, next one is the one that we put the little star next to when we wrote them down, less than. So above this, I want you to draw a little double-headed arrow. And remember that it fell into the subtraction column. Less than is the only one where you're going to reverse the order of the numbers. So pretend for a second that the number was 20. 12 less than 20. If you started to do that in your head, you'd be doing 20 minus 12 to figure out what's left over. Less than kind of reverses the problem. So, like Mrs. King said in an earlier one, when it says a number, that's the one we're trying to figure out, so that's just some variable.
B for Brian.
Sure, we can use B. Apparently I was taking too long, so she's trying to speed me up. Less than means subtract, and then we want to subtract away our
No, I just wanted
12.
to choose the letter.
Okay. So less than is the only one. Every time you see it, a little alarm should go off in your head. Hey, this is the only one where we're going to flip the order of the numbers in the problem itself.
It'd be cool if we had a siren. Warning, warning, warning.
Yeah, that would be really annoying. Could be like the little minion.
Yeah.
The Vito, Vito.
Yeah, we need entertaining props, but we have none. All right, 6 more than the product of G and 3. So
This one's a little more involved this time.
we need to kind of slow down. We got more than, we know, is from our addition words. The product, we know product means multiplication. So it looks like we have more than one thing going on, and we have G and 3. So 6 more than is translated as 6 plus. So we took care of the first part of that phrase, the product of G and 3. So again, remember what I talked to you about earlier in example 2, 6m was the product of 6 and a number. It's the same thing. The 3 needs to go in front of the G to make the product of 3G. So does it matter if it's 6 plus 3G or 3G plus 6? No.
Addition is one of those few where you can put it in either order.
Yeah, that commutative property from elementary school should tell you it doesn't matter which order you add it. So either one of those answers would be correct for that problem. But you had 2 different operations. You're going to need to slow down, make sure that the order doesn't matter in case subtraction is part of it, and make sure that you had both parts contained in the expression.
All right, we're going to practice this some more in class tomorrow.
See you later.
Have a good day.
Maybe. It's not off.